Welcome to another week of Final Fantasy XIII. I'm Dice and joined again by.
Hello, it's Azala.
So last week, we entered a alternate dimension that is the source of power for Eden. Uh, and we fought some bosses that we already fought and hadn't seen yet, and we're just walking through a red corridor, guys. Like
Well, I mean, at least it has multiple paths this time.
they all lead to the end of the game.
Yeah, all roads lead to Orphan. So I can't tell. Are we about to do what we want to do, or are we about to do what Bartandalus wants us to do?
Yes.
I don't like the looks of that.
And that's all I can tell because this game's weird. The motivations are here. I don't it's obviously a critique on free will, right? Like that's
Oh, definitely.
the thing. And I don't know what fallacy that's supposed to be. Is that actually wait, no, that might be the mountain, the power plant that turned Dodge into a Lassie.
Oh yeah, which Felsi was that? It wasn't a Carbuncle because I think that was the.
No, Carbuncle they summoned the first time. The second one, I
Yeah.
think that it was the Greppa Whitewood.
Crap, which one is that?
I just can't remember the name of the location at this point.
Well, the power plant was in the Yurde Gorge, but I don't remember what the name of the Felsi. Oh, Kujata.
Okay. It was a very small version, but I think what we saw briefly in those cutscenes was that. Also, we just walked past the guy we literally just fought.
Yeah.
Which some out-of-game research tells me that it is Polish, and I'm going to butcher it. It's Władysław? Władysław?
Sure.
And you might recognize these guys. They are the exact same enemies we just fought as a boss, 20 minutes earlier game time?
They really didn't waste any time on making that a normal enemy this time.
It is nice because it's in a world loop, so what you can do is purchase a Deceptisol and get a guaranteed opening stagger on these guys and get the 32,000 Crystarium. So this is 100% set up as like end game level grinding section.
You're like, oh crap, I had to load my save because I wasn't powerful enough.
Yeah. Go back and upgrade your Cherub necklace for the death proof.
Yeah, some of us had to do that.
Never let you forget.
I'll never forget.
Yeah, so they're even including one of those guys in another encounter. But yeah, Deceptisol. And if you remember, this guy had a stagger limit of 999. And yeah, staggering him is a pretty free win. The Deceptisols are relatively expensive, and I don't think the drops from them necessarily pay for one. But the time it takes to farm sacrifices to then get enough money for Deceptisols to then farm the Crystarium, words are hard, I think does work out. If that's what you're focusing on. And I was able to elevate her up on the other side because of the particle effects, but then that one didn't work, and the platform that I used to go up is gone. This time it works.
Okay. I don't know what it is about this color scheme, but I get like real Mass Effect vibes out of it, which feels a little weird, but
I think part of the reason why I thought it was a space station was because of Mass Effect Citadel.
yeah, it's like the coloring just seems very similar to the red and like the Mass Effect logo and stuff. And then you
Yeah.
have like the hexagonal structures making it like super futuristic.
Very sci-fi. Everything
Yeah.
is regular shapes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, contrasting this with having like relatively recently just been on Pulse for a long time,
Yeah.
where you have essentially like Steam era technology to, future hexagons.
It's always kind of implied that the Fal'Cie, well, I mean, it's told us straight out that the Fal'Cie don't have free will. Like they are constructed to follow or accomplish a specific goal. So I guess the question becomes like, if they created the parallel universe and the things in it, that almost implies some creativity. Or maybe I guess it could have already been here from their makers, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have, they're assigned their mission, and they're forbidden, like, they're not able to take any actions that directly contradict that mission, but there's definitely some leeway that they certainly exploit.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the major parts of what the Part Handlers does, but they do have some leeway in exactly how they accomplish that mission.
I wonder if they could also use a l'Cie and set their focus to be creative and essentially act as a patron, I guess, too.
Interesting that we never see that because, yeah, theoretically they could. I would think anyway.
Their goals are a little bit loftier than making some fine art.
Yeah. That's why Cocoon just put faces on everything.
So this thing is it's named Tiamat Eliminator, which is definitely a Final Fantasy reference. Tiamat being one of the Elder Dragons in past lore. But it's basically just a Proudclad. It's an easier version of the Proudclad because it has more debuff susceptibility. Kind of. Maybe not.
That was a lot of health.
I think that's also the fact that it does an elemental attack means that I can do the Bar Frost, which definitely helps my damage mitigation. I'm also more powerful than when I fought the Proudclad at the end of Chapter 12, so it could just be that color.
After all of that grinding. Is this guy immune to debuffs? I think they said in his...
It popped up, at least this current form is, but I could have sworn I got a debuff on it as possible during this phase. Yeah, that's what it is. So when it's on the ground, it has more susceptibility.
Do it! I'll deal with you.
I'll never understand the lasers that shoot straight up and then somehow fall down.
Drones with mirrors. They
okay.
At the beginning of the fight, they shoot drones up and then it reflects down.
That doesn't seem super practical, but maybe as a mere mortal, I don't understand the laws of physics.
And I mean, if you saw a kinetic weapon drop out of the sky, you would probably just... There's a chance you describe it as a laser if it came down through the atmosphere and stole them out, right?
There's a chance.
Like, maybe our characters are naming these attacks as they see them, because I can't see the enemy shouting out their attacks, Alice shown in anime, very much.
This game would be more interesting. But also more annoying.
Appreciate it.
It's every RPG made by Bandai Namco in the last...
Unfortunately, it's not just the enemies either.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
I appreciate the games that actually have like the battle voice volume option so you can turn it off.
But you lose some of that impact. I think I've actually seen some games do a frequency, which is actually the real big brain move on those. After our long walk through another dimension, we get another portal.
Ren's all right? Don't you go turning teeth on me, you
See,
hear?
it's not just corridors.
Not
There's
after we've
also
come this far.
portals.
Get some nice couches. Nice sky again. It certainly seems like we're out from the other dimension.
So, fun fact: those couches that you point out there. I don't know if you remember, there was like a promotional art piece where Lightning was like sitting down and was surrounded by all the characters. Yeah, this is where that is.
So spoilers for the end of the game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have no way of knowing that,
Yeah.
and it looks like it could just be anywhere since
It looks like an office.
Yeah.
It 100% reminds me of like a skywalkway in some city's like governmental building or something.
Yeah, but canonically, it was this area here where that artwork was from.
Okay. I have a feeling we walk through this doorway, we're gonna be fighting something.
No.
Eden
Let's
face
do
doors
this.
are just allowed in, you know. We have that power now. Gang's all here.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready.
Ready.
This is it.
Moment of truth, hero.
Little lights. Just like in Emma.
Life's spark shines on, once freed from its fleshly shroud.
Dodge!
Sarah!
Look who it is.
Dreams, meanwhile,
The only
shatter in a flash.
villain we had for the entire game.
Dodge! No!
Think.
isn't real. It's just Fauci smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, they don't work wonders. They play tricks. What?
At last, my errant l'Cie. Men fight men. Men battle beasts. Cocoon wars with Pulse. There can be no end to such conflict. But Cocoon's end is imminent and inevitable. Will you not at least slay Orphan and make it quick, as an act of mercy?
Mercy? You mean murder. And Cocoon won't die. We're not here for that. We came for you.
Such willful insolence. Disappointing. You prolong Cocoon's suffering. And to what end? Refusing me but condemns another to face your focus tomorrow. If you truly seek salvation, you will obey.
So luckily the Shroud's timer doesn't expire during cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's your destiny.
I don't know about you, but the cannons on the sides of this room remind me a lot of the final room from the Twinning, the boss battle.
Oh yeah. It's like a similar kind of room layout.
It's a
too, in
circle.
way.
Let's be honest. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
For 14, it's a circle.
Just both if they're balls anyways. If they're not squares.
Sometimes rectangles. Yes, this is Barcandalus 3. He is susceptible to debuffs, and we came in here with pretty much every buff possible. So the first spoilers, there's more than one fight here. The first fight isn't necessarily in the right home about. We're hitting damage cap. He wasn't able to do his final move. We did it, guys. We completed our personal objective. Cocoon is now free from Fauci rule.
Hey, put a lid on it.
Release.
Cool. Yeah. Bartandalus is dead.
All right. Whew. We did it, huh?
Yep. It's that bird again.
Yet it was born and saved. Too frail a shell, humans should not thrive. Too stout a shell, and they would not die. Slaughter and salvation, two irreconcilable focuses we bore. Yet bound were we in a cocoon prison, impervious to our power. And so we thank you for granting us our longed-for birth.
Nicely. No, not anymore.
We are the abandoned, born but now to die. Our name is Orphan. By our hand shall be redemption.
That looks more like a boss.
Yeah. Daisley turns into the dad, and I originally thought it was Eden as the mother figure, but I'm not actually sure that's the case.
I'm not sure either what the intent was there. There is a bunch of writing on it, and you can see the crest of Lindsay at the top,
Okay.
which we also saw on the kind of statues. There's those 4 statues in the area before this.
Yeah.
Follow my lead.
And so it opens up with a Merciless Judgment. Effectively, it's a gravity attack from all other Final Fantasies. It does percentage HP
Let's go.
based, but cannot kill you, luckily. That's basically its phase transition mechanic. And unfortunately, we lost all of our buffs because it was another fight.
Yeah, and you don't get the opportunity to use the what are they called, the
Shrouds.
shrouds? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like aerosols. No, that's not what they're called.
Let's go. This will be quick. The madness ends here. This will be quick.
Generally, this fight is it tests all of your mechanics. The first phase here is pretty straightforward. He has some susceptibility debuffs. You can put that in. You're looking to get a stagger. At different damage thresholds, different orbs will come out. So right now we have the white orb from the mother figure, which is healing Orphan periodically.
This will be quick.
What's huge is being able to get Imperil up on the boss.
Also kind of necessary.
Oh, yeah?
My buff game on Vanille isn't the best for this, and if you see there, we actually managed to get a D shell and a slow up thanks to Fang right at the end, right before staggering it. So that just lets us skyrocket the stagger here.
The madness ends here.
Even with some 900% stagger damage increase almost, health is not moving too much.
No.
Don't give up.
So we got the Dark Orb from the father figure. And we pushed a damage threshold, so we get a Merciless Judgment.
Fortunately, it can't kill you.
Very luckily. And the Dark Orb actually attacks us. So it's basically just another damage source. It also removes debuffs periodically, or removes buffs from us periodically. And apparently we pushed another damage threshold. So we get to ignore the Black Orb only phase a bit, but surprise, we have both!
Who could have seen that coming?
The big mechanic for this fight really is you need to be able to get actions out. I effectively had to do the constant paradigm shift to do a refresh on ATB to be able to mitigate what damage and debuffs were being applied. I do have all my TP right now, That specifically, I was waiting for a mechanic I think I may have actually skipped from phase 2. He would just apply all the debuffs, and Izala had mentioned that he had some struggles his first playthrough with this boss casting Death. While Death has a low chance of activation, the chance of activation is scaled based on the number of debuffs that you currently have. So he effectively would give you every debuff and then death you, and it was a pretty high chance.
Randomly, if it was the main character that you were controlling, that's it.
But even doing that fight, skipping a phase, I had 100 points more than the 5-star threshold. So that's like the minimum speed you have to do for a good run.
Have you ever paused to consider our reason for making the sea of men? We Fal'Cie are crafted for a single purpose, and granted finite power to that end. With men, it is not so. Men dream, aspire, and through indomitable force of will achieve the impossible. Your power is beyond measure. We take the sea, that we might wield such strength. Through you, we obtained freedom from our bondage. And now, your focus alone remains. Defy it, and all will be for naught. Cocoon's sacrifice, and that of Grand Hogs as well.
Vanille!
Yet, if we but summon the Maker, we will be granted the chance to begin again. All our sins absolved, and the world born anew. Submit the sea. Become Ragnarok. Lead us into the light.
Let her go!
We have no need of flawed the sea.
Orphan! I'll do it. I'll destroy you.
Ragnarok. The will to guide a world unto oblivion.
Can you bear?
The sin of our salvation.
You heard me. I said I'll do it!
You can't! I'll be fine. And you can't forget our promise. We promised to save Cocoon. We promised!
I made another promise too. To protect my family.
Fang?
Sometimes. You gotta choose! Back off!
What did you do? This ain't the time to be losing it, lady!
You too, huh? What do you gain from hurting Vanille? We're in this together. This is my focus. No one's gonna stop me. Everything I do. Why? Is this what you meant to happen? All of them.
After all we went through.
Guess I deserve it. After what I did. Are they my sin to bear for choosing salvation?
Please, stop! Stop it! Give them back!
Salvation is born of sacrifice, miracles of misery. From shattered shards, a new crystal legend will arise. Yes! Let anger be your strength! Despair! Despair and save us all! Lo, the day of wrath is come!
Anger didn't drive us. We just had things worth fighting for.
Yet again. How many times must you fail?
Let me go.
Retake the form of Ragnarok. Deliver us that which we have too long been denied.
That's just rude.
It really is.
What do you want?
Steep yourself in hatred. Let it infuse your soul with the strength it craves. Your awakening demands an offering of pain.
Vanille. Run.
No! I swore I wouldn't run away anymore! I'd rather fight and lose than give up without even trying! Bang!
Miracles out of misery. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, Fang. Who'd be dumb enough to swallow that crock?
Sure. We've all had better weeks.
We're alive!
But you can't be. Could be more Fal'Cie smoke and mirrors.
That's some smoke right now.
I'm sorry.
We made you go it alone.
Have the mirrors to reflect the
Second time
lasers,
now,
right?
isn't it?
But where were you?
Somewhere cold and dark. Just thinking about everything that happened up until now. And then it was like...
It was like I had a glimpse of the future. Everyone was smiling and laughing. And Sarah, even Light.
She doesn't laugh.
I don't know. New focus and something. Thinking didn't really make sense, of course. I mean, knowing we were worm bait and all, but as luck would have it, next thing I know, I feel somebody pushing me right
Of course, the
along.
Chocobo's still there.
You were there too, Fang. Same side. All of us. Together to the end.
I only tried to kill you. It's fine.
For this, second time, right?
Listen, you're not alone anymore. We have a new family now. We stick together. You hear me?
Yes, I promise. We promised, didn't we?
We pinkies for it.
All it took was 2 Faragas? They really need Ragnarok?
The brand of a lassie. The symbol of the focus we all
Look, they're all
faced.
white now,
The mark of the fate
like Fang's
we
was
all shared.
originally.
Proof of the promise we all made.
The heroes never die. Come on. We've got a world to save.
If we have the power to destroy Cocoon, then we have the power to save it.
The very mighty.
You say you want your day of
Boomerang.
wrath, do ya? Well, it's coming right up.
Time we gave the people what they really want.
We can do it. I know we can. We made it this far.
Right.
Let's make a real miracle happen.
Lady Luck sure ain't on his side.
That shape right there in blue is very important. Hopefully I'll talk about it in a little bit.
No, we overreach you.
Is that so?
You don't believe in anything. You gave up on life before you were even born. Sat poisoning Cocoon from the inside, waiting for someone to come and destroy you. Sure, you think the end of the world is salvation. All you care about is death's release. So take it, and leave the rest of us alone. We don't think like that. When we think there's no hope left, we keep looking until we find some. Maybe Cocoon is past saving, but it's our home, and we'll protect it or die trying. We live to make the impossible possible. That is our focus. Find your own road to hell.
Fire boss! Orphan! Is doing the thing that they want us to do.
It's a glorified clock.
How many hours are on this world?
4. I don't actually know.
And we get an army of one?
Hammer doesn't know what to do with that character model. And unlike some of the bosses, like, fixed position.
Let's go!
Curse upon curse!
It's a little bit more than capable of inflicting doom. This slow is brutal. Luckily, they don't launch it. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of already flying, but okay, I guess.
It has stuffy little legs.
The madness ends here.
Yeah, so you get one stagger and it's game over for
He
Orphan.
just kind of falls over.
What? There's more? We did just defeat a baby. Been born for a minute.
We're here to stop him. We've come to save Cocoon, right?
People wanted this.
Supposedly.
They were also apparently sheeple, but you know.
Notice how that same thing is in the sky of Cocoon now. Now that we're actually back on Cocoon in this cutscene.
Fang! Vanille!
Vanille?
Wishes can come true. But not if you just wait for miracles. Ready. Miracles are things we make for ourselves. Here and now.
I like that they make it look like ferrofluid.
Yeah. Is that the logo?
No, it's the necklace.
Also that.
Everyone's crystal. They completed their focus.
I mean, it does look pretty destroyed.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Awake in the morning, tired of sleeping. Get in the shower, make my bed alone. I put on my makeup, talking to the mirror, ready for a new day.
They did it. They saved the world.
No, they gave us a new one.
That's one gift I'll forgive him for not rapping.
Yeah.
This is as much as we can do. The rest is up to you.
Does this mean we completed our focus?
Cocoon's seen better days, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'd say that qualifies as a demolition. Focus complete.
Whatever you want to believe.
It really is a miracle.
My brand! It's gone!
It's easy to lose sight of things in a world as wide as this one. But if you keep going, you're sure to find what you're looking for, sooner or later.
Hmm?
Oh, big bunch of chocobos. Look there. Oh!
Sarah!
It is.
Guys!
Daddy! Snow!
Sarah!
They're gone, aren't they?
Hey,
I guess they meant for this to be goodbye. And again, we've changed our fates before.
Come on.
Okay.
I missed you.
Sarah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, come on, the apologies can wait. We got a wedding to plan. What? You are gonna allow it.
Wow.
Right?
You don't waste any time, do you?
No, I don't.
That's right.
Have to find a venue somewhere.
Right?
I swear to you, I will make her happy.
I believe you. Congrats.
And then half the population is eaten by the wild
Yeah.
creatures on Grand Pulse.
The things that we had to fight. Just flying around.
When prayers turn to promises, not even fate can stand in their way.
We held the light of hope in our hearts and achieved the impossible. Now we live on, to greet a new dawn.
So that's Final Fantasy 13.
Right.
We both accomplished what we wanted to accomplish and also what we were mandated to accomplish.
Technicalities, right? There's kind of a lot of that in this game. It was kind of the whole birth of the fallacy plan anyway, with something they could do on a technicality.
So you were talking about the blue eye-shaped thing?
Yes, because I honestly don't know how you make much sense of this ending with just what the game gives you at this point. Um, so what that is actually supposed to be, as has been explained in some of the other material, including the Ultimania, is that blue eye-shaped thing is actually Etro's gate. So Etro being one of the three original gods, along with Lindsay and Pulse. And it actually shows up right before, or shortly before, Fang turns into Ragnarok the first time.
Okay.
And it's meant to represent Etro kind of observing what's currently happening.
Yeah, it looks like an eyeball, definitely.
Yeah. And if you notice, like, that flashback sequence they did when everybody turned Seath, the screen is actually like vignetted in the shape of the eye as well.
Okay.
So visually, I think they're kind of trying to imply that, like, Etro was observing that, or is now looking at the things that they did leading up to that, or something like that. Basically, is aware of what happened. Um, and then they turn back into human form, and they have all of their Lassie brands are now white, which is the same
Corrupted.
as Fang's was originally. And we know from the, like, data logs and stuff that hers was white because that represented Etro kind of sealing the brand
Okay.
and undoing their power or whatever. And so you can see that happened to all of them, and implying that Etro intervened to revert their Seath form. And I believe it's meant to imply that Etro is also what destroyed that mother and father form of Orphan as well, because generally, like, all this stuff kind of happens at the same time.
Yeah.
So
not our fireballs,
right? I don't think it wasn't a normal Firaga anyway, but a product of Etro's intervention there.
And if I might be mistaken, but Etro's Gate is also what Pulse was created to find, right?
Yes.
Like they were searching.
They were searching for it.
Grand Pulse for Etro's Gate. But it was in their hearts all along, or
yeah. So, yeah, TLDR, the ending is like, well, after all of this, Etro decided to get involved and thought that these people were kind of worthy of the miracle.
Literal Deus Ex Machina.
Yes. Literally, yeah. So that's the brief explanation of the ending.
And they made some references to, like, we'll have more time, more miracles. Based on the timeline for the sequels coming out, they feel like they were planned. But I don't... When you actually go through and play them, they feel a little disjointed also.
Yeah, I think, like, the sequel, without, going too much into spoiler territory, they probably had more written than they actually used for the game, almost assuredly.
Yeah.
And it seems like there was originally some stuff left over that they thought could have been turned into a sequel. And I think they kind of used it as a starting point. But based on, like, the reception and criticism that they got of this game, I think they made a lot of alterations to what they had been intending at the time this game finished. That would be my guess, because they went out of their way to do, like, an extreme opposite of some of the things they were criticized here for, namely the linearity. So I don't know how much of what they intended when this was made actually made it into the sequels.
And you might not know this without looking it up also, but I know that Final Fantasy X was still not a global release. I was at the international edition, and all of that ended up happening. I can't remember if 12 was,
I don't remember either.
but there's also a distinct chance that this was the first one that had a simultaneously worldwide release, especially with it releasing on the Xbox. So like Microsoft, I'm sure, had some hand in that.
It was actually released a few months earlier in Japan.
Okay, but not like the full year that we had previously gotten.
Right. It was like it came out at the end of 2009 in Japan, and then it came out in the spring the following year everywhere else.
Right,
So it was
yeah.
at most like 4 months, maybe. I don't know the exact dates.
Some finalization cleanup stuff rather than
Yeah.
effectively doing all the translation ad hoc at the end. So they really wouldn't have had time to correct. I don't even know what the Japanese reception for
It was
13 necessarily was.
I don't remember either. I'm pretty sure it was more positive than the reception from the American gaming press at the time.
They would have gotten some of the accompanying material immediately, where I know we had to wait for the diehard fans to really get on board with the new installment.
Yeah, and of course, like some of the details about some of the plot elements weren't even really fully understood until they published the Ultimania, which I actually don't know when that was.
I thought we looked it up previously, and the Ultimania in Japan came out roughly the same time.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I believe that we.
But obviously, translations always take a while, especially that a lot of it felt like almost a brain dump of key points. And then also audio dramas and light novel adaptations of extra material and stuff like that just we got trickled over what I think it was 5 years or something.
Yeah, something like that, because it was pretty much up until Lightning Returns they released some stuff, some of it minor, some of it set of novellas.
Overall, like playing this game again after I had done some small run-throughs but never got past like chapter 4, I think, trying to retouch it. Going back through, I understand why I stopped trying to replay it.
Yeah.
The story just takes a while to do effectively anything. But I wanted to replay this as the possibility of then going back into 13-2, which out of the 3 in the trilogy, I have the fondest memories for.
Has the best soundtrack.
There's one song in particular.
I mean, there's that one. Also, the soundtrack as a whole is really good for 13-2.
I don't think I could ever fault a Final Fantasy soundtrack, though.
No, not really.
But thanks for taking this journey with me.
Yeah. Thanks for playing through it. It was fun to revisit everything.
Yeah. And that's the end. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you.